I am that I am. Adamus Saint Germain. Oh, that was a long time ago. To use my old name, Adamus Saint Germain. Hello, Saint Imzaia. How are you all doing?
Fine. Fine.
Fine?
Yeah.
Are you getting the information that Akara has been providing you with?
Yes.
Okay. That is good. Well, I want to help you understand this on a more practical level, because obviously, as I have been telling you a very long time, I am also attending these free energy classes that Akara has been given all of us, and some others have been given us as well. At the same time, as an Ascended Master, everything that comes to me is immediately brought into my reality. So already I have the experience that I can share with you how this new way of living, this new way of existence actually works. Because you need to know, my beloved Imzaia, that it isn't just you who are undergoing change. It is us as well. This type of change is happening not just in the 3D physical realm. It is going on in all the realms of time and space and beyond those realms. It is going on with Babaka or God or Spirit, Him, herself. It is a change of all things. So let us bring you now the more practical, based on experience information. And I would like to do that through a in-depth Q&A session. So, who has a first question? You want to have a first question? I'll take you next time. Please sit down. Hello.
What I want to ask you is, my 7-year-old daughter had, before my husband and I left to come to here, she had a very heavy emotion. She was very angry, very yelling, screaming, very hysterical, and I would like to know if you could say something what was going on in her, because she couldn't tell me. She said there's something inside of me I can't get out, but it was so heavy. I never had seen it like that before, and I would like to understand it more and how I can support her.
Well, I'm not going to talk about that specific topic in relation to your specific life. I'm going to make the concept a little bit bigger, because there is a lot going on with the children of this planet, and that is what I would like to talk about then. As you know, the children of planet Earth are bringing in a lot of new energy. They actually have that which you call the Akeneic energy right within their bodies. You see? With a lot of these children these days, what you find is that there is a certain, how shall I call it really? There is like a crash of a colliding, a clash of two different types of energy that are coming into them and that are trying to come out of them. Children of that age oftentimes are already starting to let go of their own divinity. They are starting to come into the dualistic world. Now, as this process of change is going on the planet, their dualistic process is halted and they are brought back to their own divinity core. This, to them, is much more intense. To the children of this earth, it is much more intense than it is for you, because for you it is going to take longer to get back to that authentic core. Children that were just a little bit removed from it are now thrown back into that. And it seems as though there is coming a type of greater separation between parents and children because of that. Because the children are the first ones, especially of those ages, are the first ones to be thrown back into what is basically a good state. So what I could say to these parents that are undergoing that process is it will happen when the parent is going away from them, especially because they feel very alone, they feel very alienated all of a sudden, like they're going to be left behind, because to them right now it feels as though they are no longer invited to be part of this world. And obviously that is true, because we noticed that so many children kept moving forward and being manipulated to be a part of this world, and that is basically a redundant use of energy. Because as this world is coming to an end, at least the way we know it, there is no more point for children to be trained and educated to know the rules of the world as we know it today, as you are all knowing it today. So it feels very alien for children right now, especially those that have a strong connection to that which you would call source, and that are now seeing things again in a different light. They don't understand their parents, and the parents are not understanding them. And that is what is going on with a lot of families these days. It will get better. It will get better for everybody. Does that answer the question? Well, thank you. You had a question.
Yes, can I sit here?
No, you can't. And you're going to use the mic.
Maybe I can stand here, because this is what's happening
Yes.
on the electromagnetic field of the Earth.
Yes, also.
Also, as the Earth an Akane of its own.
The Earth has an Akane of its own.
Yes. That's the reason.
Yes, yes. Actually, the three fields of the Akane, the 3 points are...
3 chakras.
Yes.
So
yes.
in Den Helder, you activate
1.
the heart chakra.
Yes.
And at
Yes.
the same time started the Akane
Yes.
of the Earth.
Indeed.
With these changes in... That was my question.
Yes. Well, thank you for giving the answer as well.
Completely.
Of course. Is there anyone else who has a question? Yes. Please come up.
You were telling about the Merkaba.
Yes, the Merkaba.
How is the Merkaba connected to the Akane?
Well, the Merkaba and the Akane are connected because of the electromagnetic field. The Akane literally is a type of inner Merkaba, while the big Merkaba is taking place outside of the body. Do you understand that? Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else has a question? Yes, Maya. I dare you to make it quicker than her.
I also have a question about the children. I have a few grandchildren, but it comes from all the children.
Yes.
What's going on with when you get all the injections? Do you get as well? Is it still all these children affected on it, or can they have it?
Well, this is a very important question indeed about what is happening to children being injected in schools and everywhere these days. Babies even. Well, I'm going to broaden the scope again. And I'm not just going to talk about the injections. I'm also going to talk about all the medicine that children are given when they are supposedly ADHD or autistic or whatever. Actually, I'm going to talk about all medicine, which is a big topic, but still. if you consider the body and the natural healing process, the natural transformational process that the body has, then in effect it is a very unnatural thing to try to heal the body in a chemical way. Because always, even though you have medication that is going to the root of the supposed physical problem, none of the physical problems showing up in the body are ever physical. They are always energetic. Always. Always. Always energy-based. There is never something that goes wrong with the body that wasn't an energy pattern before it started going wrong physically. So, as long as you keep feeding medicine to yourself, you are basically acknowledging the separation of the body towards the earth or towards energy or towards divinity, because you are saying you need something from the outside that is going to heal you. You don't. Never. Ever. And I will remind you now of the Pleiadian principles that Satya has brought you a while ago, and which she spoke about the penetration of the body during operations and such, and how this actually cuts through the dimensions of your own universe that you have within. You see? It's really a very intrusive process. It's not a process that you should be proud of as a human race to have on your planet, but anyway, let that be said about medication. What happens now? At a certain point, medication was something that you didn't just use to get better, but it became something that you already started taking before something was wrong. You see? And that is because people think that the body is frail and that the body is going to die eventually. So what is happening with these children, right the moment they come into planet Earth, they are injected.
They have no choice.
I know, they have no choice because that is what society wants. They do have a choice. You have the choice not to do it, but then you have to be very careful because they're going to try to take your children away from you then. Because you are supposedly not nurturing them well enough, not being a mother or a father or a parent to them. Yet, what does this do to the body of the child? Especially the child that comes in with such an arcane quality at first. It actually introduces the child to the world of duality. It is not the medicine itself that is so bad. It's not that. It's not the medicine. It is the energy that comes with it. Because as the parents inject the child, and it is done through a doctor, but it is the parents doing it and society doing it, the child is introduced not to unity consciousness, but to unity mind. And the child basically is planted in the field of mind to be harvested later on. You see? And all of this is obviously leading to the disempowerment of humanity. It is leading to taking people's power away so that they would be ready to be used when the time comes. And that is what is going on right now. It is the reason why children are being inoculated and everything. It is a terrible, terrible process. And even though you might run into problems with your government, I would strongly suggest that you don't let this happen to your children. Please know that their bodies are well enough and that their bodies can heal themselves. It's all about control. And I know that we are actually carrying a lot of responsibility here by saying that, because others would say that I am crazy, that I am crazy for saying this, and how could you say this to parents who might put their children at risk, who might put their children in danger? I'm saying that you are endangering your children this way, by making them a victim of society, and that's not something that you want to do. It really isn't. It's not what you want to do. You want to let your children gain their sovereignty, especially those that come into planet Earth in the last few years and are still coming into Earth right now. Their field of divinity is much more strong, and that is also why some are showing up with ADHD, etc., because the vibration is so very high and it's going so quickly. And then pills are injected and injections are put in the child so that it will start vibrating lower. But what they don't know is that they're damaging the system. Not just the biological system, but also the connection to the akenaic energy is damaged. Because what happens when you get these types of injections is that it starts to break down the akenaic cells, and it tries to make from the akenaic cells just dualistic cells, which would mean that if that process happens, you could even potentially, because this has never happened on this earth yet, but it could lead to the full loss of the connection to that which is called the akenai. And to restore such a loss, the last time that this actually happened was Atlantis. And to restore such a loss, a lot of work is necessary, and a lot of intent is necessary.
Yeah, but is there a possibility for us to motivate those doctors? Or I have a granddaughter and my father is a doctor, so...
It's going, yeah, I know. Well, do you have, as long as these people are in mind energy? No, I'm afraid not. You could talk about all the science that I am giving you right now, but they would probably just laugh at you. Because they say it would be crazy. It would be crazy to think about more strands of DNA than 2. They say that would be nuts. And if you start asking about the junk DNA, well, you know, they really have no answer for that. But anyway, they will not accept it, no. Most of them won't. All we can hope for, and that is also something that this organization here, Weave Your World, is going to be doing, is to open this platform, to open a connection between science and spirit-technical information. Because there will be those scientists who will be stimulated to look deeper. There will be scientists who will be stimulated to do that. Yes?
There are already organizations who are coming together to promote this.
Yes,
Do it.
I know.
Already. And me myself, my mother never gave me injections.
Ah.
I never had. And I also never had cancer results. I get much papers. Well,
It's all how you perceive your reality.
How you are acting.
Yes.
You are believing what is good or not.
That's right.
And
That's
you know
right.
what you feel is good.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, the many papers you get in your briefcase.
That's right. That's right.
I have it from my mother, who's 60.
Yeah. Yeah. But even these days, parents still have no choice. They are actually forced by law to inject their children.
For cancer too, you are forced.
Yes.
I don't implement.
Yes. Yes, I know. So what you could do is, you know, you could actually try to not fight it, but use a different potential to place against it. Let's give you an example, as 2008 is going to be the year that we and you and so many others are going to declare their independence and their sovereignty on planet Earth. We will obviously take this point as well. There is no liberty, ladies and gentlemen. You are believed that to live a life of liberty, but you are not actually living that liberty, because you are born in a nationality, within country boundaries, and then after that you are told how to live, while everybody is pretending that you are not being told how to live and that you have a supposedly free life. It's not true. You are continuously told what to do, how to act, what to eat, and even finding different things to eat than the things that society has given you is becoming harder and harder. You are told to put chemicals in your body at such an early age. You are not living a free life. If you want to find a stimulation to master your illusions, the way Ikara was telling you about, then this alone would be enough. You are not free. You think you might be free, and you are free as long as you are playing the game, as long as you are responding to the rules that are being put on you. But free, you are not.
I believe in Holland it's possible. You have the freedom not to inject your child.
Yes.
But there is so little information for the parents, so they are still afraid. And also, for example, the mother don't want to inject the child, but the father will. And then there is a struggle.
Yes.
That's in Holland. That's the problem. So.
But the problem is, you have a choice, but still you are strongly forced to do it anyway, because they will tell you that your child is gonna get sick. And what happens in a mind-based reality, you hear that information and you are actually gonna create it, so you don't have a choice, actually. You see? You are not living in a free world, and if you want to start mastering your illusions, that alone should give you the premises to do that. So this will change, because we will no longer stand for it. Thank you for bringing up this question, it is very important. Thank you.
It's the same for animals, right?
Sorry?
It's the same for animals.
Yes, the same for animals too.
To make it clear, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. They're already being chipped these days, so...
Because for animals you also have to put in medicine to...
Yes, to be alright with the law, actually. I know. Anyone else who has a question? Yes, please. Please, sit down.
I'm back to be present. First, I want to give you a hug.
Come here.
It's a long time ago.
I know. Hello, Angel. Me too. Sit down.
I think you that you...
Hold this a bit closer.
I don't like this thing.
I know, but otherwise you won't be recorded.
I want to thank you for the key that you offered me next week, a little bit before. It was feeling like a puzzle coming together in one.
You really have to close it to your mouth. Yes. That's it.
Yes. I was traveled in September to Italy. It was for me the last part of my journey. It's happening a lot of things there, and I was back 1 week, and I have an amazing journey and our body experience. It's taking 4 hours. I was shaking the morning after I wake up, and I was shaking, And when I closed my eyes, I was back again in the energy. And I was thinking, oh, what's happening this evening, this night, And 3-4 weeks later, the channeling of Lemoine is coming. And he's entering, the energy is entering, and for me was the key. Also the very beautiful meditation of one touch and one... The meditation that you must experience a Big Bang.
Oh, that, yes. That was
It's a very beautiful one.
Yes.
And I invite everybody to listen again, more than one time. It's also my dear friend Kutumi.
Yes. Oh, don't
He
start
said-
about him. He will
said
come in.
next week, the week before, it's good to repeat and hearing channelings again. I was doing this before,
Yes.
and my experience with that is that you have other information. It's more, how you call it, intensive.
It's deeper. It's
Deeper,
different layers.
deeper.
Yes.
And you make other connections.
Other connections.
And dus what I did for my experience in the body was make the connection with the 5 elements, yes, and invite my consciousness to go in, make a journey on the vertical S, yes, and I step in the portal of the central sun, and I go deeper and deeper and deeper, and I feel hands on my body. So you're not alone. And then my room of space was full with colors, beautiful colors. The 144 and more. I see planets and stars. I was in my own universe. I
Yes.
think, I don't know. And it was made eclipse.
Yes. This
It's
to me,
beautiful, it's beautiful.
this to me
So
is a
it's
very normal
use the
experience.
5 elements, use your inner voice, talk to yourself, guiding yourself to make the journey within. It's working. If you believe.
Why, thank you.
It's an amazing journey. Now my question is, I know I must do it again 2 times.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's about the vortex.
The neocortex?
The vortex.
The vortex.
Must be open
Yes.
in Peru.
Yes.
And the other one.
New Zealand.
Yes. So I was feeling and thinking, not with my brain, but with the brain of the heart, that the journey, the Big Bang experience, it's the connection, the link with the 3 portals that must be open. I'm wrong?
The link between
Yes.
the Big Bang experience
I'm
and...
knowing after the journey that I was somewhere.
Yes.
I created a vortex somewhere. Yes. So I know it's happened 2 times this year.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think I feel that's happening with the Akine.
Well, yes, it is these
The
spaces.
planetary one, there's the planetary one, and
And the personal one.
yes.
Yes. That is what is happening. And what you are actually doing as you are opening those vortexes is you are preparing, paving the way for those who are gonna further the process.
Yes.
Those who are going to turn the vortex into a portal. You see? Because that is what is going to happen. It is already happened to Den Helder, and it is going to happen to Peru, and it's going to happen to New Zealand, and actually it's going to happen as Hawaii shifts back from that space of neocortex energy to pineal gland energy as it becomes a full portal for constant and immediate manifestation. So the vortexes and the journeys that you are doing, the inner journeys and the vortexes that you are opening, is basically pinpointing the space for the cosmic energy to start coming in. That's what you're doing.
And what about Africa?
Africa.
I know it's opening there also.
Yes.
Vortex.
Africa is gonna be very, very strong in the second half of 2008. You're gonna see that the first ones to start picking up the pieces after the chaos hits the planet. And I'm not talking about disasters or anything. I'm talking about personal chaos as new life experiences are going to come in. Africa, always having been so close to the natural state of existence, although it was also corrupted obviously, is going to be the first continent to start picking up the pieces. A very strong leader who is not going to think from the concept of leader, but also going to have the sovereign service concept in mind, is going to stand up there, and it is going to be very revolutionary. I am telling you this, that which you call hunger will no longer be there in the continent of Africa. So that's a big thing that we're saying right now.
It's very good.
Yes. And it's because they're going to find natural ways of making sure everybody is fed. That's all I can say about it. Yeah.
Wow. So now...
That's a lot, isn't it?
That's an invitation for all the gatekeepers.
All the what? The gatekeepers? Yes.
Yes. To be present and do the job. To see each other in the oneness.
Yes. It's not just an invitation to the gatekeepers, it's an invitation to all of humanity. So, yes, obviously. Thank you.
But it's working, and it's amazing that all the channelings, beautiful gifts, it's available for everyone. And when you practice this and how you call that, listen more than one time and not listen to the words, feel the energy, hear the words behind the energy. That's all you must
do.
Yes.
That's right.
And when I was coming noon, there I was hearing your singing.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, ah. And when you were all singing E. Yes. I was there, outside. And I hear the winds coming in.
I know.
And the winds crying so hard. It's beautiful.
I know. It is because you are allowing yourself to see what reality does when you activate these things. So many people don't see that because they don't want to see it, and then they find themselves in other spaces when these things are happening.
It was so strong.
Yes.
It's coming in.
Yes?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, anyone else have a question? You?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm just feel pushed to sit here and speak. I needed to add about previous, about the children. So there is movement.
Definitely. Definitely, yes. I know there is, yet the problem won't be solved by not doing it anymore. The problem will be solved by taking away everything that is part of the current medical world, except for a very few things that are actually working, like interacting with the elements, which is what homeopathy is doing, for instance. Interaction of the elements, the herbs, and that sort of thing. That is actually working with the elements to make sure that your body, your vessel, is more fluid, is more open to receive energy. But all the chemical things are working against that.
I also want to ask for us, because there are a lot of people who think we can't reach because they're stuck in mind and they do things out of fear, like giving their children opposing injections. So I believe, and I hope I'm right, that the only thing we can do is just take care of ourselves, being in our center, in the now, in our
Yes. Axis.
Yes. So that as we are the energy, so we can radiate and lift them also up in the vibration that we are in.
Yes.
So I hope that's sufficient to help the children who's getting those injections.
Yeah. Well, obviously, working on yourself is the first requirement that you need to do if you're gonna do this work. That's right. Children are very flexible these days. They are very much aware of what is going on planet Earth, and I guess that you will notice how many children aren't really grafting onto the reality that you see around you. There are a lot of children these days, and I'm sure that most people here can agree, that are almost appearing to live in their own reality. They have a world of their own, and it is a protection system that they have created. There are children also who are naturally immune to the effects of the vaccines. It's very interesting to see that a lot of children are just creating it from their own body, a self-defense mechanism to not let those injections harm them again. This is just a type of energetic mutation, because once the energy system gets attacked for enough generations, it's going to start to defend itself in the biological energy sphere. And this research never gets out almost, because people don't want it to get out, because again, as usual, there is an entire industry behind it. And the industry must go on. Let's say it like that. And that's going to be that's what I have been referring to, and Akara has been referring to as the period of chaos, where you will see many changes going on at the same time. You don't know what is happening, and you're trying to fight it. So that might be a bit weird, that period, but it's going to improve. It will be impossible to have any type of disease.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
There you go. You also need to know that there are different levels of speaking here. If you were speaking from that perspective where you were talking about right now, then you obviously need to see that you are still talking within the field of 3D reality. You can also speak from a different perspective where none of these things can harm you because you are not seeing them as real. It's very interesting to talk about all of these things, but at the same time, it can be gone like this. Never forget that. Never forget that you can talk on many different levels. And you can try to find a solution within the 3D world, but the solution to all problems, to all 3D problems, is just stepping outside of that box. As you say it yourself, it is just a moment.
And I have those moments also by myself, and I'm in joy, total joy from.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I guess we have space for one short question. Is there anybody who wants to ask one more? Yes, please. Very happy to see you again. Hello.
It's a very short question. It's not about this all about. It's the question, how is made a pyramid in Egypt? Is that made by what kind of energy? Stones? Are the stones lifted by a kind of energy?
Yes.
And is that energy coming back?
Yes. It is created by the magnetic field. People in Egypt actually date all the way back to the Atlantean and the Lemurian races, where it was very common to work with magnetic energy so that you could lift things. You see, I'll tell you how the process worked really quickly. People here in this organization, in their seminars, have done it before as well, but they were just with a small group of people. Now imagine 1,000 masters, 1,000 people who are aware of magnetics coming together around a huge pile of rocks. Huge. Rocks that could be 200-300 tons, more, thousands of tons. And they all stand there and they start working with geometry. and with magnetics, as I'm doing right now. And they start opening those frequencies up. And they begin to place their intent, right? And at a certain point they start to point that energy towards the center of their circle in which lie the rocks that need to be moved. And as they open that up, and it's an exercise that we could do, as they open that up, they start creating vibrations, frequencies, specific frequencies of sound can lift anything. It is just magnetics combining with the geometry of sound. That is the energy that is required to move any object, basically, within a 3D world at least. Magnetics, which is the field of potential, and sound, which is vibration. So at a certain point, when these interact in the right angle, you create an anti-gravity field. That is how they did it. Actually, it's going to surprise you, but most of these pyramids were built in less than a week.
Yeah. I can.
So what are you going to do with the month of December? This is a potential possibility, and it will probably manifest, as so many of you are having that dream of doing that, so why not create it? Definitely. Definitely. Thank you so much for your question. It's very good to see you again.
Okay.
Yes, come here. Thank you. So anyway, my beloved Imzaia, as always, it is and continues to be a pleasure to come into groups such as this one and to interact with you. Know that great changes are occurring at this time on planet Earth. And you are the ones who are responsible for doing that. We are very, very pleased, and we know that you are at a point of great, great frustration because of all the changes that are happening, because of all the new information that you are processing, and also because of the duration it seems to take for all of these things to come in. I want you to know, however, that you are right at the brink right now. You are standing near that edge, and you are getting ready to step into all of those things that you have been speaking and dreaming and writing and reading and talking about for all those years. So, again, find the pleasure of letting go. Find the pleasure of that peeling away of all the things that society has been telling you. Know that you are God. Know that you are in the right space at the right time. And that this is still a very, very unique space on this planet Earth right now. You are indeed the lucky ones. The ones that can be here in a body. That can be experiencing when the illusion falls away and when liberation once again sets in. Even though all space is infinite, there is a finite number of energies, which then would be people who are experiencing this. So please understand, you are sitting in the front row of all of this. It's an amazing experience. And even though you have been sitting in that front row for a very long time, just be aware of the fact that very shortly you are going to be asked to stand up and to step onto the stage and to act out that grand change that you have been looking at for so very long. So, although the information that Ikara has been speaking about in the last few days seems to be pretty complex. It is a process that is already going on within your body. All you are doing as you are listening to the information is becoming aware of it. You see? That's all. And with that, I wish you a very good night. I thank all of you, my brothers and sisters, my family, my loved ones, all of you, that you are undergoing this process. Know that you are loved beyond comparison, and that there is blessing that lives within you. Know also that no one can give you that which you already own. Your mastery, your divinity, your infinity, your uniqueness, and yes, your lovely, lovely smile. Nobody can take that away. So please, find the child's play. Find that ease of life and give yourself the gift of December. I can tell it to you again, give yourself that gift. It's a very important gift if you should do that. It's a challenge, but it's one that's going to be worth the while. And with that, my beloved Imzaia, again I bid you good night. I'll see you in your dreams tonight, because I will be showing up to do some more work with you. In the last few nights, actually, it had been Jeshua himself and Ikara and some others who showed up to do some work with you, to rewire some of your systems. Tonight it will be myself and Kutumi showing up. So get ready for that, yes. Get ready.
I hope to see you in my dreams.
So you will find us, you will find us. I thank you again. I love you always. And you are the joy, the sparkle that is within my heart. I am that I am Adam G.
This was beautiful hope giving information.
Ja, dat vind ik ook.
Zo it is. Let's enjoy.